Okay, bud, let's take a couple looks at some things here. So, in your swing, you've got all this new power, and I kind of like the backswing you have it here. You got a simple pivot, you've hit, you stored, and that's a whole little different than when when we just first started talking about that. And that I like in a sense that you've got the stored up energy. You're going great. I still see how you're trying to get the energy out of you into this golf club consistently. So think of the swing as you're applying force to something. If you can consistently put the same force at the same angle and release the club at the same time, then you are consistent. If the forces are changing, meaning you're playing a different force, you're going to have these different hits and different misses. So, as we watch a few players here, in my mind's eye, when we look at it, if I put that impact bag kind of imaginary in here, and I want him to hit the bag, in a sense, you'll see a very simple path to hit the bag. He's not trying to twist away from the bag. He's applying a force of energy to something. So remember, this is the force that you're created. You stored up this energy, and there's a force of energy to here. This isn't the speed of the swing. This is force that you've been using from the ground. This is you moving from the ground. That's all that force. And as every swing, there's a force. Now, eventually, we have to get the energy into that golf club. Now, kinetic energy is transferring energy. So right now you're pushing. He's pushing off the ground. This is now his by knee high. They have stopped pushing the ground forces. Now the body will start rotating and moving, and the club, eventually the energy is going to be released right there into the wall. And all that force is just there. And then we have to kind of let that energy go somewhere. We've got to let it fly. And so right there is what I call the force, the slingshot, let it fly. So there's your hit, and there's your letting go. As you go through, you're got a force, but you can see here is where are you going from your force to your slingshot. It's a lot of effort, a lot of stress on your back, hips, and shoulders. And what happens here on this one, you can see you hit the toe because that face opened up a little bit. But right there, you're still trying to do a force. You're trying to stay down, and to me, when your front shoulder, when I look at this front shoulder, still pulling away from the hit, right? It's pulling away from it. You have to over flex to keep this thing so it doesn't go left. And so now if you're that, you're blocking it right. And that's all that force extension. So you can look here, does that look like an efficient way to get energy out of your system? Or you're trying to do angles so you can make the ball kind of go where you want it to go. And over here, when he looks to hit, then there's the release of energy. Now if we go to Jon Rahm, which looks nothing like those two, but they're going to look the same when it comes down to this. After you look at the sense of the backswing, you're going to see the same thing. He's going to compress the bag as a force. He's leveraging something just like a bear did. There's a force of energy hitting. And again, we go back to yours. You're not really creating that force. Your body is pulling, your upper body is pulling away from the thing it's trying to hit. So the common link you'll see in all these is that they're creating leverage at here. And right here, they will turn all that energy into that release energy or a slingshot. That's the speed. We're trying to get the club to go right here. There's the hit, and there's the release of speed. Don't think of it as a release of hands. Think of it as you're just trying to generate speed at this point. Now, different people have different types of slingshots, maybe more chest, more arms, but releasing the energy that way instead of pulling, again, away from the shot. Go to the next guy, Justin. Well, this is a driver who's going to have a lot of force, but it impacts the same thing. He's trying to create compression there. You see that front shoulder, as much as he's moving, he's still not moving away from the thing that he's trying to hit. Now he can just release that energy, right? And he kind of jumps up because he's trying to get all that force into there. He's just releasing. But at the same time, at the same point, as much as he's moving, this right here, you'll see your shoulders pulling away from the ball, and he can now stay longer because he's not trying to get any more power from the shoulders. He's getting all that energy into that golf club efficiently. And we go over to next. Again, different but the same. You're going to see here, we get here, he's going to go there, and there's this compression. See, he's hitting, again, he's back to hitting the bag. Here's a force. See, everything stay nice in there. So they're all delivering the same force energy to the ball. And then his version of release is just, everyone has a different version of getting the energy out of it. But you can see right here how the the body isn't pulling away, it's staying contact. So I think you have to work on your release point and work on, to me, when you're practicing, work on kind of these smaller swings. Do you feel how you get from here? And we would get more lag in your swing. You'll see that club gets released out early. And if we go over to, let's see here, if we have the one swing you did. Now here's two different swings. When I said hit the bag a few times and I pulled the bag away, you also see your arms are much more in a relaxed position, not so kind of contrived. I think a lot of this is you're getting ready to, your body's getting ready to twist, so you're already tightening up here. And from here, you're getting ready to move to go hit that bag. So there's your hit. So everything, watch how your body is now moving for the hit instead of the spin away. And that, to me, is going to apply leverage better. Now, right through here, we're just going to let that thing fly through. And that's your hit, and that's your letting go feeling. And see how your body, through impact, you can see how you're in a whole different type of energy release. So to me, I would just have a sense that you're hitting the bag, hit the bag, hit it, and let it fly. Give up control, because the control is here. How we go from force to releasing energy, that's control. This is just releasing energy. And get out of the shoulders, and you'll see that you'll stay down differently through the shot.